Alrighty, hey everyone, meteorologist Anthony Carpino here. We're going to give you guys a little bit of an update as you're planning out the week ahead. We're talking about a pretty active way to start off our work week. We got some storms that are going to be moving in Monday morning. Uh, Unfortunately, looking right around that morning commute, so that could make things a little bit tricky there in the morning. We're talking about potential for some gusty winds, some heavy rainfall that might lead to some ponding on some of the roads, especially in those typical trouble spots in urban areas, or if all of the drains are essentially blocked by some of the leaves that have fallen as well, that could cause some problems there too. So we're going to walk you guys through the forecast, and we just had some of the models go through their latest updates. So we're going to talk about some of the newest stuff that we're seeing here on our Sunday night. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Let's jump right into it. Of course, you can always follow me on all of the social platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the platforms there. Let's talk about what we're seeing right now. Of course, you can look at the top of your screen. We do have live radar playing. You can see where those showers are. And as we continue on through tonight, well, all of that is going to start to pivot in our direction too. Also, one thing to mention that I have all the feeds up in front of me. So if you guys have any questions about the forecast, maybe for your area, what you can expect, feel free to put those comments in the comments section, and I can pull those up and I can chat with you guys a little bit there. So let's continue through. So we got the wind, we got the rain that will be increasing for us going through Monday morning. Yeah, like I mentioned before, right during that Monday morning commute for us. So anywhere from about 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to see some showers develop, especially in western areas of the state. And then by about 5 to 7 a.m., really starting to see the bulk of the rain start to move through the state. Now, there is a low severe threat with this as well. And I wrote on there, the potential for a brief isolated tornado. I really want to focus more on that wind and the heavy rain threat for us. I think that's what most of us are going to end up experiencing. Now, we'll definitely talk about that severe threat there, mainly for the mid Atlantic, and Connecticut is just kind of squeezed in at the top of that threat. So let's continue on. Let's pull up a radar a little bit bigger for everybody to see here. So you can see where most of that rainfall is right now. So we can see that starting to impact central areas of Pennsylvania. And we also see that moving through, looks like just starting to move through the Washington, D.C. area. So all of this is slowly going to work its way into our neck of the woods there. So you can see we're pretty quiet right now. We do have, I'll zoom in here a little bit more. You can see this one little band of showers that have started to form just around the Scranton, Pennsylvania area. So there definitely is going to be the potential for a few showers to form out ahead of the main line. So that's why I was talking about, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We could see a few little showers there. Here's the severe threat. This is technically for tonight through Monday morning, and you can see where they've been kind of trimming away that severe threat there. So you can see that from North Carolina, central North Carolina, all the way up through the DC metro, and then central and eastern areas um, of Pennsylvania. Then that goes through the mid Atlantic as well. And as you can see, Connecticut is in that northeastern corner of that severe threat. So the western half of Connecticut, especially, so Fairfield County, so Danbury to Bridgeport, and everywhere in between, Danbury up to Torrington, and then right along the New York border, Waterbury and New Haven also included in that level 1 threat. So again, when we're talking about the severe threat, it's mainly going to be with those gustier winds, but a brief spin up tornado anywhere is possible in that orange polygon there. So that extends further off to the south as well. So it's just something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. So as you're going to bed tonight, just make sure that as you're plugging your phones in to charge them up, just make sure the volume is on. So if we do get any kind of alerts, you're going to be able to wake up and you're going to be able to hear that. So just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not overly concerned with the tornado threat, but threat is not zero. So I just wanted to bring that up for everyone. So we're all on the same page with that. Well, let's continue on through tonight. There you go. 9, 10 o'clock tonight, still dry, but then there you go. You can see those showers starting to move in from the west. So upstate New York, they're seeing those showers first. That starts to creep into western areas of the state. Then by about 5 o'clock, you can see how we're getting more of those oranges and reds that are starting to show up. So some heavier rainfall, a few areas of lightning, definitely possibility for us, but lightning's not the overall concern here. We're not expecting widespread lightning. Keeping an eye on what the Weather Service had to say about that as well. And that seems to be kind of what we've been talking about across the board. But as you can see, by about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you can see as the sun starts to rise, if we can destabilize a little bit more, you can see the area of orange and red just really expand as it moves through central and then eastern areas of Connecticut. But by the time we get to about 10 o'clock in the morning, it's looking like much of the rain could already be out of here. And then Monday afternoon is a lot calmer as far as the rain is concerned, but could still be breezy at times. And then we'll dry things out altogether as we head through Monday evening. And then by Tuesday, we're looking to be mostly sunny and temperatures back to the 60s there. So I think we'll still have some breezier conditions as we head through the day on Tuesday, at least for portions of Tuesday. As far as how much rainfall we're expecting, some folks about a half an inch, others, if you get just one of those good cells that fire up, maybe close to an inch at times. Now, this could end up leading to some very minor flooding. You're talking about the ponding on the roadways, so the potential for some hydroplaning during the morning commute. You're having that amount of rainfall in a relatively short period of time for us. Now, we're still having abnormally dry conditions to moderate drought for the southern part of the state, especially. So we're not worried about a flooding situation, but you just get a quick, heavy dose of rainfall there, and that could lead to some ponding. So just keep an eye on that, especially if you have to get up early heading the highways. Just make sure you're giving yourself a few more extra minutes heading out the door for Monday. So again, going over those storm impacts there, the wind potential there, and then that street flooding threat, I think, is going to be our biggest potential. Not ruling out still that brief severe threat as far as the tornado goes, but that is on the low end of the spectrum for sure. So just something to watch for us. The live view over downtown Hartford right now, where we have some pretty gusty, some steady breeze, not so much gusty conditions there, but you can see that the Founders Bridge there in the foreground, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, the flag's blown in the breeze a little bit there, and winds right now 5 to 10 miles per hour. So not all that bad in the Hartford area. A little bit breezier though. Groton's sustained winds at about 22 miles per hour. This is a look back at this afternoon, what we saw for wind gusts today. So anywhere from about 20 to 30 miles per hour, kind of give or take around the state Willimantic, about 21, but 31 mile per hour gusts reported there in Greenwich. So a little bit breezy today, not anything overly breezy for us, but you might have noticed it as you were stepping outside. And we're going to notice that breeze, of course, as we go through tomorrow. So let's talk about the breeze. This is really going to be strongest as that front moves through. So when you get some of those thunderstorms that can fire up, I think that's where we're talking about more of the breeze. And then on the back side of the front itself, it could briefly pick back up again. So we'll walk you through this here. This is 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. You can see winds gusting to about 40 miles per hour, not out of the question there. I think one or two localized events could have winds just gusting a little bit higher, especially in one of those stronger storms. So just something to keep an eye on there. That 7 a.m., you can see that shifting into central and eastern areas of the state. And then as we head through Monday afternoon, a brief kind of hiatus with those winds, and then they could just jump back up a little bit, maybe gusting back to 25 or so miles per hour. And then we're in better shape as we go through the day on Tuesday for us. So something to keep an eye on as we head through the day tomorrow. So tonight's forecast, thanks to, well, that southerly breeze and, of course, all that cloud cover we have right now, upper 50s is what we're expecting. So still staying on the more mild side as we head through tonight and tomorrow morning. The high temperatures tomorrow only stay into the mid 60s there, and that might be brief. And then we cool things down. So you might notice the higher temperature maybe the first half of the day, and then after that front moves through, we kind of cool our way back down. So we may not end up seeing the highest temperature in the afternoon. That might actually come first. So we'll see how that plays out there. But we're drawing things back out for Tuesday. And then we do have one more system to talk about on Wednesday, although that's not looking anything too crazy for us. We do have the showers that kind of move through with another front. Now, with this cold front, it will actually be a true cold front for us. We're going to really cool down our temperatures for the second half of the work week there. Here's a look at the European model, kind of showing that system develop as we head through Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon. It starts to move out of here. And then after that front passes by, take a look at this. Our average high temperature this time of year, this time of October, is about 62, 63 degrees, which is going to be pretty much where we're at on Wednesday. But take a look at Thursday, Friday, and the upcoming weekend there. It's going to feel more like the start of November with temperatures only into the mid 50s. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit cooler and it will feel like fall. So your fall activities later on this weekend, I think you'll be in good shape there for sure. Let's talk about, let me get past this guy. Let's just pop into the 10-day forecast here. So we got those morning storms tomorrow we're in better shape for tomorrow afternoon, although it's still breezy at times. The scattered showers on Wednesday, and then we cool things back down into the mid 50s all the way through the start of next weekend. I think beginning middle of next week, we can end up seeing, or rather the following week, maybe another round of some scattered showers. Here's that shoreline forecast. We're talking about those temperatures remaining into the mid 60s through about Wednesday, and then cooling down to the low 60s and upper 50s, even for you guys at the shore for the second half of the work week. Now, with the weather that's going to be moving in, we want to kind of see what you guys are seeing out there. So if it's safe to do so, snap some photos. You can also email those photos to us at share it at nbcconnecticut.com. Of course, you can always tag us on social media and we can grab your photos there. We can also share that with everyone as well. So we appreciate all of our weather observers and for folks that want to send in some photos. So really appreciate that. So let me see if you guys have any questions for me so far. Tatiana says that it is, if I can get this, there it is, about 60 degrees in Hartford. So thanks for that report. Karen says it's definitely breezy. And yeah, we're just going to kind of notice that as we go through the rest of this evening. So let's shift to talking about what we're seeing right now as far as the latest models are concerned. So pulling up one of our websites here, this is looking at some of our high-res models. This just came out, and it might still be rendering a little bit. No, it's fully out now, so that's some good news for us. So let's walk through. Get this to click. There we go. And we can see all of those showers are really starting to pop here. So this is about 2 o'clock in the morning. So again, a few little showers developing out front of the main front. And then as we head through about, this is 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m., you can really see the storm starting to get its act together a little bit, especially as that sun comes up. If it can destabilize a little bit, that could help the chance for some thunderstorm activity and some stronger winds within some of those storms as well. So that continues to work its way through Connecticut, and then it starts to shift into portions of Rhode Island and then eastern areas of Massachusetts. And then there you go. Heading through portions of Monday afternoon. There's that chance, you can see it there, for a few little tiny showers, that backside of the front. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw that for Monday afternoon, but not expecting widespread rain like what we're expecting Monday morning for Monday afternoon. So something to kind of keep an eye on there. A couple other parameters I wanted to walk through. Let's see if I can go back to our winds and talk about our wind gusts that we're expecting. So this is a look at the, again, one of our high-res models. If you head through, so where you're seeing the green, that's essentially starting to see gusts over 35 miles per hour. Now, keep in mind, this is a model, so it's not a forecast. I just like to use this and kind of gauge what differences we've seen between each model run there. So don't look at the screen and say, oh, that's exactly what we're going to be getting. It's probably going to be a little bit different. That's where we come into play. So going through, looks like this is about 6 a.m. So you're seeing those little pockets, and this really starts to show those winds kind of amplifying a little bit more. Good news for us as it moves into Rhode Island and then into eastern areas of Massachusetts there. So I'll back this up a little bit. Yeah, so like we were mentioning before, no big changes with this latest update. Still, I think gusts up to 40 for most locations. If you get up to 40, a few 1 or 2 spots, if you get that good thunderstorm, could see winds gusting a little bit higher than that. But that's pretty much what we've been keeping an eye on there. So let me see if you guys have any additional questions as we head through tonight. So that's just something that we wanted to update you guys on. No big changes with the forecast from what we mentioned at 6 o'clock. So let me see if I can get back to one of my headline graphics here. Let me just pull this out really quick. All right. Play this guy. All right. So just to kind of rehash for you guys. So wind and rain, that will begin for us as we head through the early morning hours of Monday. So we're talking about 3 o'clock in the morning for a few showers, and especially in Western Connecticut first. We really start to see those showers increase, become a little bit more heavy, some gustier winds associated with that for the morning drive. And then after about 10 o'clock in the morning, we start to see everything wind down a little bit. Now, it can still be breezy at times for us, but the bulk of the more active weather will be Monday morning during that commute versus the afternoon commute. We are going to continue to keep an eye on that severe threat, although it is on the lower side, but something just to watch. So just make sure your devices are charged and make sure the volume is on tonight, just so if we do get an alert, you are able to hear that and you get woken up by that. So just something to keep an eye on as we go through tonight. Now we're going to have more live updates coming up on the news at 11:30. That's going to be after the NFL wraps up on NBC. So make sure to tune in at 11:30 and we'll get the latest update on that storm tracker forecast. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate all the comments there in the section. Of course, if you want more updates about Connecticut weather, Southern New England weather, make sure to follow me on YouTube as well as on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the social platforms. You can find me on everything there. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great night.